Today on the channel from NECA and Gremlins 2, we got the deluxe Bat Gremlin.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another NECA Gremlins unboxing and review. And today on the channel from Gremlins 2, the new batch, we've got the deluxe Bat Gremlin. But for all your Bat Gremlin needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $59 does ship free. Got to get a deal out there, of course. And the Bat Gremlin is a re-release, much like the Spider Gremlin of the past. Getting this back out there to the masses, of course. It's the anniversary. What is it? I can't remember what anniversary it is of Gremlins 2. Like 30th anniversary, I think, something like that. And Gremlins 2, one of those movies that not a lot of people liked on Inception when it first came out. But man, I was of the age, I absolutely loved it. I liked it just as much as Gremlins 1. And in some instances, I like it even more than Gremlins 1, as it's just one of those ones I can turn on and kind of pick up from any point, where Gremlins 1 I always feel like I need to watch from the beginning. Gremlins 2 has so many different scenes with so many different crazy, zany gremlins, like the Bat Gremlin, the Spider Gremlin, and so forth. Just always captures my imagination and captures my attention all these years later. So I'm happy all these years later. This film is kind of getting its flowers, I guess you could say. And definitely in the action figure form from NECA. Of course, we got all the tiny gremlins, the Mogwai. We got all the Mogwais. We got the Spider. We got this one. We've got a few other. The Demolition Gremlins. Of course, the Tattoo Gremlins. We've unboxed a lot of them here on the channel over the last year or so, let's call it. What is time, as we always do say. But one thing we know we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's see what's up with the Bat Gremlin. And like I said, this was released way back in the day. Very pricey figure. And now this is being re-released. That's going to tank the prices of the old one. And we say it all the time on the channel. We put our old business hat on. Guess what? Mattel, Hasbro, Super 7, NECA in this instance, they want every dollar out of your wallet and then some. If they see a large aftermarket want or need for collectors, they're going to put something back out if they have the rights at the time to do that, because, once again, they want the money. They love that their things are collectible, things like that, but they would rather have themselves lining their wallet than the people selling it on eBay. And a lot of people say the eBay scalpers. Not necessarily. If something's been off the market for a couple of years, the price is the price. There's no scalping going on. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But let's dive into the figure here. Nice deluxe box here. Not quite as deluxe as the Spider Gremlin, and we'll compare it to that one here later, and a few other comparisons as well. A little bit lighter in the packaging department for sure, but definitely looks cool, very cathedral-like. And of course, we remember the scene of him flying around outside. He did get outside of the building, and it was a very cool puppet. Very cool, and it feels very crude kind of puppeteering. You know, it feels a little dated, I guess is the words I'm looking for, all these years later, but there's something special about that. Just like the old stop-motion animation things, the old Godzilla movies, things like that. It kind of gives you that little vibe, which I'm here for. I'm here for that. But definitely looks cool here in the package. On the side, Gremlins 2, the new batch, Bat Gremlin. Same thing on the other side, of course. Then on the back, we got a little bit of blurb. Let's see what it says about our old friend, the Bat Gremlin, back here. This detailed recreation of the puppet seen in Gremlins 2, the new batch, is fully articulated, including hinged ears, hinged jaws, ball-jointed arms and elbows, and bendable wing structure that allows the wings to spread open and fold closed. The Bat Gremlin's wingspan is nearly 18 inches across when unfurled. I don't know if I know that word. Unfurled. Includes flight display stand for hovering or flying poses. That's nice and key, I think. I think that's a good addition to this one. But let's get him out of here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what all the fuss is about. And there's always some fuss going on. Love that background there. Looking very, very cool. I'm here for that. Very cool. Off to the side. See you later. Goodbye. And we get the old plastic prison. Oh, it's a prison of plastic. And we're going to unleash this Bat Gremlin here. Very, very cool to get this all these years later. And I did pass on this back in the day because I was dabbling. I was a serial dabbler. See you later. I got Gizmo, I got Stripe, I got some of the heavy hitters main players. I did not get the Gremlins 2 figures way back when. I'm righting those wrongs now, I guess. I just didn't have the finances to collect all that stuff back then. Not that I do now, but obviously as you get older and you get more secure in your job, instead of, just starting out, see you later, you get more spending money, I guess is what most would say. So there you go. All right, let's dive in here. I do love the addition of this display stand. Love a stand. I don't care if it's a regular stand or a display stand. I think it is really, really cool to get something like this from the NECA team instead of having to get our own or whatever. Let me put it in the right way. There it is. You can kind of choose your own stand adventure however you want to, but a nice clear stand here. Definitely going to take advantage of that. Now we get the old Gremlin out, and I got to tell you, this feels different, looks different, and is definitely a lot smaller than some of the other Gremlins here, but definitely interesting, definitely different than your other Gremlins. And the first thing I feel and notice, I feel like I got a fruit roll-up, and we've all had a fruit roll-up. Oh, everybody loves a good fruit roll-up. I'll tell you what, a little fruit roll-up story. My wife and kids, whatever reason, they get these fruit roll-ups now, just the ones we had when we were a kid, or whatever you want to say. And they undo these things, and then they put ice cream in them, and then they roll the fruit roll up with the ice cream. It's some crazy concoction. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. I haven't tried it, haven't done it, but it's all the rage in my house right now. So if you want a hot tip for the kids, get a fruit roll up, put some ice cream in it, roll it up. Oh man, you're off to the races, apparently. Apparently. You guys check in, let me know if it's a good snack out there. Who knows? But that's what these wings remind me of. They almost feel like a fruit roll up. Of course, not the sticky part, thankfully, but definitely kind of feel that way. But they do fold, it looks like, so you can kind of move them around a little bit. But I'd almost like it like this because real estate is a premium. And of course, Gremlins, if you're a #1 A+ Gremlins collector, you want this thing in all kinds of incarnations. But if you're somebody like me that has a movable shelf, my Gremlins display is one of those movable displays where, okay, right now it's over by the He-Man because I got some room there, but once He-Man gets some more figures, it's going to move over to the Ninja Turtles. And then after that, I'm going to move it up to my horror collection. It's one of those spots in my collection that kind of move around. So I always need to save space with my Gremlins as best as I can. So I don't know if I'd want these wings all folded out for me. But they are a little bit pliable here. You might have to work on them. You might have to heat them up a little bit too. It's a little bit bendy. You can kind of see, those little holes like you see in bendy wire stuff. So you do have a little of that here, but it does, as you can see, doesn't really hold its spot. It does kind of come back. So the more you know about the old wings here, but definitely look very cool. They are definitely attached. There's no removing them, anything like that. These are big, big wings. You do got the arms in there. You kind of got the spotted color there with the wings as well. Are the wings hinged? Yeah, you got a little bit of hinge action on the back of the wings. Not a ton, though. Not a ton going on there. So that is interesting. These wings, I'm going to say it, this is the first time I've ever had this out of the package. Maybe not as cool as I thought they were going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit cooler. I don't know. Maybe I had high hopes from that Spider Gremlin being so detailed. Not that this isn't detailed. It's just maybe the wings. It's like the wings and body look like a different piece from different figures. They're close. They just look a little different. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to sit with it for a while. That's what we'll have to do. But let's get to the head on this one. Of course, talked about those ears are moved. They're on a hinge there, so you can move the ears in and out. You can hide his eyes if you want to. You can pull it all the way back. All kinds of movement there. And then you do get the jaw that opens up and closes. I do like that a whole lot. Definitely like the creepy Gremlin's eyes. Got all kinds of teeth going on there. Got some spikes all over the place as well. You got the spotting inside the ear, the nice sharp pointed ears on this one. Definitely looking really good. And then the body looks very interesting. Just not quite as detailed as a normal Gremlin, but I guess the detail is the wings for this guy here. But definitely a humanoid-like body, I guess we'd say, on this Gremlin here. Very, very interesting looking. And his head, of course, I guess articulation-wise, head up and down, side to side. You got two different points of articulation. You got the actual head, and you got a ton of movement in this neck as well. So you can move his neck around, whatever you need to do right there. You do get arms up and down, side to side. Can't go all the way around because of the wings, of course. You got the hinge at the elbow, back and forth at the hand, of course. And then the legs, same thing. You get the side to side. You get a bend, a single jointed knee, back and forth, side to side, a little bend there. Ankles, a little bend there as well. Big, long toes on this guy. Big, long, ugly toes. Needs to get a pedicure. That's what he needs to do. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. So if for some reason you need him on a stand, You could use a Mattel stand for him, but there's no way this is going to work. He's just going to fall over. I figured as much. But definitely a littler guy right here. That is for sure. He is definitely smaller than I anticipated him to be. Whew, I thought I broke his hand. Thought I broke his arm there. I did lose some paint with that one, though, but he's got some tight joints. So as usual, with some of these NECAs, if you're concerned about your joints breaking, things like that, give it a heat up with the old hair dryer. Not always a bad day at the office. You know how we do it here, though. We do first impressions. That's how we do it. We don't do reviews where we sit on these things, play with them for a week, and then, you know, take a look at them. I like to see the excitement right out of the package, see what's going on, and test it up if it's going to break or not. Hopefully not. Usually it doesn't break. We've had like 5 figures break out of 2,000 some unboxing videos. So I think our track record's pretty good. And I think the company's track records are pretty good here as well. But definitely an interesting one. Gonna have to figure out how to put him on this display stand though. Definitely an interesting guy here is this Bat Gremlin. And I honestly think this stand could be a little bit bigger for this guy as well. It just seems a little small, and I'm not even sure where you put it into. I don't know. I'll play around with it for the old glamour shots for sure. But definitely an interesting figure. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in this guy. By no means am I disappointed. It's just a lot smaller than I anticipated it to be. I guess that's what I would say. So there's a little height size difference right there for him. Of course, we do got that big old spider gremlin here as well. Like, that's what I'm talking about. These are both around the same price point. This might be a hair more, maybe $5, $10 more. But man, that is a big figure. A big real estate killer is this one. This one, not as much of a real estate killer, but also a real estate killer in a lot of ways. Of course, you got the most famous Mogwai of all time. We got old Gizmo out there, and Gizmo doesn't want to stand up. You can kind of see his size comparison against Gizmo. And speaking of stars of Gremlins too, of course, you can't forget Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Of course, you got to get the Hulkster out here. One of his famed movie roles, of course, was Gremlins 2. I remember seeing it at the theater as a little kid, just being like, oh my gosh, Hulk Hogan's in this movie. Are you kidding me? Where's the Ultimate Warrior? Bring Warrior out. He'll save the day. That wasn't to be, unfortunately, there. But an interesting one. All these years later, great to have this in the collection. Don't want to say it disappointed me. It's just kind of middle of the road. It didn't knock my socks off like I anticipated it to, but it is still cool for what it is. It's going to go great on my Gremlins 2 collection. Just a very cool piece to have if you're a Gremlins fan, and especially a Gremlins 2 fan. But what are your guys' thoughts out there? What's your favorite Gremlins movie? Do you love Gremlins 2? Did you pick up this bad boy? Are you going to pick up this bad boy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the old notification bell. Don't forget about Patreon for early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, all kinds of stuff over on the Patreon. And Patreon, your best way to support the channel and all the content. You can also support the channel over there at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Gremlins 2 and the Bat Gremlin 2, I am Kyle, and I'll see you all real soon.